Welcome back to the show. Even at the best of times, India and Pakistan remained suspicious of each other. Pakistan protested India's decision to build Baghlehar Dam on the Chenab River, and India accused Pakistan of harboring militants to target New Delhi's interests in the region. Our correspondent Adnan Tariq recently spoke with Ambassador Zafar Hilali to take a deeper look into this complicated relation.
Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Hilali. It's great to have you on Eye of the Storm.
Thank you.
Okay, so my first question to you is that the foreign secretaries of India and Pakistan are going to be meeting tomorrow in Sharm el-Sheikh. So what can the people of the subcontinent expect? And are we living in a fool's paradise to think that something substantial can be achieved?
At the forthcoming meeting, yes, I think nothing will be achieved, zero, zilch. And the reason is that the Indians have linked all progress to finding the perpetrators and punishing the perpetrators of Mumbai. So I don't think anything will be achieved because their leaders don't want, at least the Indian leadership doesn't really want any progress. I think this meeting is taking place because the Americans have put pressure on the Indians, and the Indians want to show that they are prepared to resume the composite dialogue, but they have made it conditional on the Mumbai perpetrators being caught and punished, or seeing something on the ground at least that suggests to them that this is being done in Pakistan. I don't think that you see, there is nothing left to talk about on the issues. I mean, Sir Creek, the delimitation of the boundaries, and these other issues which come up. Siachen, for instance, everything has been agreed. All that they require is the political will, and that political will isn't there. So I don't think that you will see anything happening from the Foreign Secretary's meeting in Sharm el-Sheikh.
Mr. Hilali, the fact on the ground is that there's been a significant drop in militant activities in Indian-administered Kashmir. Recent statements, especially on the one-year anniversary of the Indian embassy in Kabul, they took a softer tone when it came to Pakistan. But some in the government still say that Pakistan is turning a blind eye when it comes to militant groups. Do you think that's a fair statement?
Well, I think that there hasn't been a lessening. I think the militant activity across Kashmir across the border in Kashmir has almost stopped. And yes, I think it would have been very right for the Indians to have admitted that, to have said that. That would have been the proper thing to say. But you see, again, they link everything up to this Mumbai. They want to keep the pressure on us. I think what the Indians have got to realize is that this is no longer Musharraf's Pakistan. This is a changed Pakistan. On the roster of our enemies, India doesn't stand number one. It is first extremism, then terrorism. Third, I imagine, is bad governance, and then comes India. So I think this is a changed Pakistan about which India is referring, and I think they would be wise to admit it to themselves and let it impact on their policies. And this is not happening. They are absolutely fixated on Mumbai, and I think that's a pity, because I think a lot of good opportunities for continuing the process of normalization of relations will have been lost if they stick stubbornly to this stance.
So Pakistan has mutedly been saying that India is supporting militancy in its northwestern territory and also assisting a separatist movement in Balochistan. Now, why do you think Islamabad hasn't taken up this issue with New Delhi in the same intensity as shown by India over our alleged activities?
Why should we take it up with Delhi if we are so convinced and the proof is so damning? I think we might consider going to the UN Security Council with it, because this poses a threat to our peace and security in this region. I think that just making accusations without bringing forth evidence really is not a very convincing thing to do. So I hope that Pakistan either comes up with the evidence, and once it has the evidence, publicizes it, tells its own public. We all want to know how India is interfering and what is the evidence.
Sir, my last question, and the million-dollar question: can the peace process between India and Pakistan ever be truly irreversible?
Yes, for the very simple reason that when one reverses, one goes back. And what do we go back to? It's called MAD. It's called mutually assured destruction. So we cannot afford to reverse. For us, reversal of this peace process means inevitably and eventually war. And war between two nuclear powers is MAD. That is mutually assured destruction.
Thank you so much for joining us on Eye of the Storm, Mr. Hilali. It was a pleasure.
It's time now for a short break. But on the other side, has terrorism replaced Kashmir as the core issue between India and Pakistan?